get all the nerves out. Like Ashley Tisdale, I'm Sharpay. They have great tread on them. These are my fun shoes to go out in. Whatever Dr. Long wants, she gets. I love working at Modern Animal. I throw birthday parties once a month at Modern Animal. I elected myself birthday chair. I'm Dr. Angelica Collins, and I'm a doctor at Modern Animal West Hollywood. Well, I'm from upstate New York, from Syracuse, New York, and I wanted to become a veterinarian when I was about a freshman or a sophomore in college. Originally, before that, I wanted to become a human doctor. I was raised in a family where my grandpa was a neurosurgeon, and I thought that was one of the coolest things ever. So after that, I was working with paramedics, going on ambulance rides, working in hospitals, but it wasn't until I was working at a retired racehorse sanctuary with my mom when a pet went down. And when that happened, I had this really large animal in my lap, and we were helping to make it feel better. So we were giving it fluids, the veterinarian showed up, and I was the one that was helping her, and that was the first aha moment for me that I really wanted to become a veterinarian. So I went to Cornell University, which is in upstate New York as well. It's in Ithaca, New York. I felt like for the first semester, I was drinking out of a fire hydrant with a straw. It was really hard. I was getting a lot of information, learning so much anatomy, but had the best time of my life. I love working at Modern Animal. So it is so much fun. I feel like it attracts an amazing group of people to work with. We have such a great community. I throw birthday parties once a month at Modern Animal. I elected myself birthday chair, and we do it. I send out an e-bite. The dogs are invited. We have dog birthday parties, and I just love how much fun we have all the time. So there's always decorations in the back. There's always snacks. There's always like people bringing in things. There's always a celebration, which makes coming to work really fun for me. And then I like our clients a lot. Like I feel like we have a really cool client base. They're easy to connect with. We learn so much about each other, and we have the cutest pets in LA. So the first time I knew about Modern Animal was when I had my initial meeting with Dr. Christy Long. And she was my girl crush. Like, I love Dr. Long. She is everything that I aspire to be. So when I first met her, I knew that the company was gonna be great, just talking through things with her and her understanding where I was coming from. And I was the first new grad that Modern Animal ever hired. So for me, it was a little bit difficult to know what I was really getting myself into, but Dr. Long made this 6-month plan for me that no other clinic made. And I felt like I trusted her. I trusted Modern Animal to really help me grow and empower me to become a great doctor. And I think I've succeeded in that, and I think they've succeeded in that. It's pretty hard to transition from being a student to being in a professional setting. And I was also a student during COVID. So I had never had the opportunity to really interact with clients in person. With them, they didn't have me take on appointments for about the first month. So I was only shadowing Dr. Storm, and Dr. Storm has such a way with her clients that's just gentle, and people trust her, and she's so smart. I knew I was gonna have a hard time walking a fine line between feeling confident in myself and not knowing exactly how to take on certain situations, because a lot of times it was the first time I was doing things. So seeing clients for the first time by myself and doing surgery by myself, but Modern Animal always was there to support me, and I feel like I became more confident more quickly than I was anticipating. I also had a plethora of doctors for me to go to at any point. So Dr. Bruckenthal, Dr. De Silva, Dr. Bijlani, Dr. Chang have all been out for a long time. They're not even super new grads. They're people that are experienced, know what's going on in the field, have seen a lot of different types of cases, and all of them have different specialties or things that they're really good at. So I felt like I had this bank of knowledge just to go to for any questions that I may have, so I could learn best medicine. And I figured out who I should go to for each specific things. And it was really cool to learn from different people, learn their different styles. It was collaborative versus working in a really small practice where I don't have access to so many doctors, or I'm left alone and I don't have that collaborative environment. That piece was really key for me to grow. I love going to the beach. I love going for walks, I love cooking, and I love hiking and traveling. So at Modern Animal, it's nice because my days off are truly my days off. Burnout is a really big issue in the industry, and if you're constantly working on your days off, you're constantly thinking about your cases, you're never taking the time to enjoy your life outside of work. I love work, but I want my time, my free time, to be things that I can explore my hobbies and get creative and work a different part of my brain that's not just medical. So whether it's painting or cooking or something that allows me to explore my interests. And yeah, it's the whole point of working, so that you can have fun after too. When I first started off in vet school, I adopted a paralyzed dog who was supposed to be in hospice. Her name was Tala. She was from Iran and she came to me paralyzed, so she didn't have a wheelchair. I got her a wheelchair. Her wheelchair had a hot pink license plate that said "Always Riding Dirty," and she was the best thing that had ever happened to me. And I learned so much about being a veterinarian just by having her and being in vet school. I mean, she went from the streets of Iran to Cornell University getting the best care possible, going to the internal medicine specialist, going to sports medicine, going to get surgery, things along those lines. So I got to experience what it was like having a really sick pet and being an owner of them, but also learning to care for her while I was in vet school, having my classmates help me out with her. And that was a cool experience for me because I learned so much more about the body, things that were happening with her I could apply to the cases I was learning about in school. And I just absorbed so much knowledge from the specialists I was working with just by her case. And she also had a lot of behavioral issues, so that was something too that has been a really big interest for me, and I think that's a strong suit I have as a doctor here, because when we have patients that have high fear, anxiety, and stress, I just think back how I felt as an owner when I had a dog that way, and how she acted and felt when we were going to the vet, and that has made me sympathize with the owners and the pets a bit more, and I have a much more softer approach, and I feel like the dogs trust me a bit more. Okay, so my clogs, they have really great tread on them. These clogs, they have great tread on them. I don't wear these to work, but these are my fun shoes to go out in, and they're my most complimented piece of clothing. So I figured I'd wear them today.